Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Natalie, and I'm a pharmacy student at the University of Newcastle. And today I'm here to give you information about breastfeeding and bottle feeding. I'm also joined by some special guests, Dr. Smith, an obstetrician and lactation consultant, and Dr. Burns, a gynecologist and new mum to 6-month-old baby boy. Before we get started, we'd like to play a little guessing game with you. Firstly, what kind of milk is in baby formula? Well, typically formula is made with cow's milk, but you can also get soy and goat's milk formula. How common is jaundice in newborns? Mild jaundice is seen in 60% of newborns, or 3 out of 5 babies, but it rarely needs treatment and will clear up on its own. How often do newborns need feeding? Because of their little tummies, in the beginning it's every hour or two, all day and all night. Tiny muscles are located in a woman's breast that work to squeeze the milk out. Is this true or false? This statement is true. So which is better, breastfeeding or formula feeding? That's the million-dollar question, and there is no one answer. You and your baby are unique, so whatever works best for you. It might just take a bit of trial and error to work it out. So we're here today to give you some information about both breastfeeding and formula feeding, so you know what to look forward to. First up, I'd like to welcome Dr. Smith to talk to us more about breastfeeding. Dr. Smith, thank you for sharing with us today.
Absolutely. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. So here's a diagram of the breast. You can see this blue structure are what makes and release milk, and the yellow brown structure are the little milk ducts. So when a baby first attaches to the nipple and starts sucking, signals go to the brain, which then triggers 2 hormones to be released as shown in the second diagram. Prolactin, which tells the blue guys to make and release milk to the channels, and oxytocin, which tells the duct to squeeze. This whole process can take up to a minute, so your baby will suck for a while before you feel the muscles squeeze, like a tightening of your breast. And then you hear your baby gulping away. It's important to let baby drink until the breast is empty, as the last milk to come out is nice and fatty and will help your baby feel full for longer.
Could you tell us your top pros and cons for breastfeeding?
Sure, so we'll start up with the pros of breastfeeding. This includes complete nutrition, as it has all the proteins, carbs, fats, vitamins, and minerals which will change and develop along with your baby as they get older. Then we have affordability. Breast milk is 100% free and you never run out until you're ready and cut back on your feeds. Then we have the ease of digestion, so less constipation and upset tummies. And the most important thing that you're gonna get out of breastfeeding is your baby's full immune support. The antibodies made by the mom enter the baby's system via the milk and help protect them against germs like the cold virus. Convenience: no preheating and preparing required, and no washing up and sterilization afterwards, as you can do it anytime and anywhere. Mom's body. Breastfeeding helps you get your body back. Lactation helps reduce the size of the uterus after birth, and the extra energy required for making milk is like a whole body workout without even trying. Now let's get to the cons of breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is messy. Women often make more milk than required. You will need to buy breast pads to prevent leaks and stains all over your top, particularly at night. Time commitment. Breastfeeding takes a long time. A feed can last anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour. Restricted intake. A lot of women may not like this because they have to restrict their intake of alcohol, caffeine, smoking, and medication, including some medication you buy at the pharmacy with that script. You will need to double check with the pharmacist before taking anything. Breastfeeding can be painful. It's common for babies and moms to struggle to find the best attachment, and a poor attachment can lead to sore, cracked nipples and a poor flow of milk. If you find this happening to you, please ask for help from your midwife or lactation consult, or at least try different positions that are more comfortable for you both. Disease risk. Although breastfeeding reduces the incidence of ovarian and breast cancer, it can increase the risk of diseases such as myotitis, which happen if the breast is not drained after each feed, and nipple thrush, which can be transferred from the baby to the mom if the baby has an oral thrush. And the last thing we have on the list is less sleep. Typically, breastfeed babies feed more frequently than formula, so they tend to sleep for shorter periods.
Thank you for sharing with us, Dr. Smith. I'd now like to welcome Dr. Burns, a gynecologist and new mum to 6-month-old baby boy.
Thanks, Natalie. Hi ladies, my name is Dr. Burns. I'm very excited to be here to share my story with you and make you feel at ease about formula feeding. I'm a gynecologist, so I specialise in women's health, and I learned a lot about the benefits of breastfeeding while studying. So when I had my first baby 6 months ago, I was very excited to breastfeed. I knew the first couple of days I'd be feeding him the super immune boosting colostrum. But to be honest, I didn't really enjoy breastfeeding from the beginning. It didn't matter what we did, we couldn't get the latch right. I was in so much pain. He had colic and was always screaming and crying. I gave breastfeeding another 2 weeks before my mental health couldn't take it anymore, and I switched to formula. We trialled 3 different brands before finding one he loved. Formula is commonly made with powdered cow's milk that has been jam-packed with vitamins and minerals to closely mimic breast milk. It's a little overwhelming to choose one at first, but formula comes in so many varieties to help match with your baby's specific needs. I found one for babies with colic, and a colleague of mine is using one for babies with lactose intolerance. I also heard a lot of positive reviews on goat's milk formula when the cow's milk varieties don't agree with baby.
Could you give us your top pros and cons of formula feeding?
Yeah, absolutely. So for starters, it may not have all the antibodies available in breast milk, but it does have all the proteins, healthy fats, carbohydrates, and vitamins and minerals that a baby needs. Next, we've got mum's independence. Formula feeding can be shared with partners, friends, families, or carers, giving mum time for self-care, work, study, or caring for older children. As I mentioned earlier, there are a variety of options to choose from to meet the specific needs or conditions of your baby. For example, there's formula with extra casein proteins for babies who are hungrier or not putting on weight, anti-reflux formula, comfort formula with partially broken down proteins that are easier to digest, lactose-free, goats, soy, rice, and many more. Bonding time for others gives babies' dads or other family members that special time to cuddle and develop a connection. Now this is probably the main pro, longer sleeps. Formula is thicker than breast milk and slower to digest, making babies feel fuller for longer, which typically means a better sleep for both you and baby. You get to control the amount, so when a baby is formula fed, you can see and record how much baby is having each feed, bringing peace of mind baby is ingesting enough for growth and development. So we'll start our cons list with the cost. Formula is roughly $30 a week. Bottles can be anywhere from $10 to $20 each, and you'll need a few different ones to trial which one baby will like. A sterilizer starts at $15. A bottle warmer is around $50. All up for the first year, you'll be spending $1,500 to $2,000. Preparation. It takes time to boil the water, wait for it to be at the right temperature, or pre-boil and heat in the microwave, prepare and serve formula. which can be challenging when holding a hungry, cranky baby. Some formula-fed babies can get constipation and painful gas. Not all formula suits all babies. While finding the right one, babies might have some unpleasant digestive issues. Without the protective antibodies in breast milk, formula-fed babies have less of an immune protection, so you can end up with longer-lasting or more severe illnesses. Judgment from others and feelings of failure. Although there is more support for the Fed is Best motto, other mums and health professionals still push the idea breast is best, which can severely affect the mental health of an already struggling mum. So remember, whether you bottle feed, pump, breastfeed, or all of the above, you are doing great, mama. The evidence supporting breast milk being superior to formula is lacking. It's nearly impossible to compare two people who were fed different as infants to see how they turned out as older kids or adults. So many other factors influence people's development, so don't let anyone make you feel bad for choosing formula. Breastfeeding is amazing, but so is formula feeding, and it doesn't have to be just one or the other. Lots of parents mix feed, so they might breastfeed during the day and give formula at night. You could also buy a breast pump for around $50 to feed breast milk to babies from a bottle, which can give you the best of both worlds. The most important thing is that you and your baby are happy and thriving. And if you're not, talk to your midwife, pharmacist or doctor. You're never alone, there's so much support available.
Thank you very much to Dr. Burns and Dr. Smith. If you have any questions, please feel free to enter them in the chat box. We've also developed a fact sheet, which includes a summary of what we've discussed today, plus links to various websites, videos, and online support groups. We will now move on to the questions.